Good morning. A little rainy here in Maryland, but I think a good day to go live, have a little talk about the happenings in the promo world that I've been seeing. I've been paying attention, been busy doing some other things. Let's get that out of the way. And by the way, good morning to the promo realm and to the ones that matter from myself and the PPF. So, the title of today's show is Things That Make You Go, what the fuck? So, first thing I want to hit on is I was, scrolling through as I always do, and I see that in a group, not going to mention the name because people get butthurt when you mention their group names, and then they got to do lives and think that they're making an impact, and that people are really listening and paying attention. Nobody gave a shit. Trust me, I laughed. Thought it was fucking hilarious. Anyway, I see Dante Black loses to NDT. What the fuck? Let's be honest, man. I've been more interested in watching paint dry than to watch NDT cut a promo. I've been more interested in maybe driving a nail through my eyeball or my eardrum than to watch him promo. Dante Black is at least hard hitting, has good substance, and delivers a very decent promo. Man's won multiple championships all over the promo realm. So when people say, what the fuck? They're pretty much asking, was this kayfabe? That's a question, isn't it? But then I see the same group involves a guy who is very well known for kayfabe when he was running his group, which is shutting down here soon, thank God. And from what I understand, maybe we may be getting lucky at him disappearing altogether. But well, we'll see. Only God can help us with that. Good morning, James Ellis. Hope all is well. Um, but for me, it's like you take a promo superstar. That would be like saying NDT beat Brett Jacobs. Shit. Not on his best day, and not on Jacobs' worst. So people get mad when I do these coffee with old schools because they're like, oh, well, you're taking the fun out of it. I'm taking the fun out of competition. Sometimes in real life, and I know for certain people, real life has always been a struggle. Okay. They couldn't never accomplish real goals. They couldn't become the man they thought they should be. Unfortunately, life is hard. Okay. Unfortunately, you got to earn what you want in this world. And in the promo realm, I feel it shouldn't be any different. You should have to earn your wins. You should have to earn your championships. Nobody should write you a story because you aren't very good at it so you can have fun and have a turn at being a champion. Get where I'm at? I just don't agree with that. But I'm a son of a bitch when I say that. So recently, over in the VOH where I am the KOP and we're having a blast, we had the return of Landfill, which, hey, don't get me wrong, you know, that was a nostalgic moment. Landfill comes back on the screen, blah, 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 blah. You would think, you would think that some of the other, older guys or guys from the past seeing Landfill walking on the screen to defend the honor of VOH, he would do not he, sorry. Timmy did his part. Um, the rest would do their part. But I've learned something about the past. Well, at least 80% of the past in certain places. Lazy. Lazy rhetoric. They don't want to work hard. They want it handed to them. They want to be able to just walk on screen and go, I'm really good at what I do. Sorry, don't mind the Cheetos on my sleeve. Oh, wait a minute. My hair ain't brushed. My beard ain't combed. It's okay. I just woke up from a nap, but I figured I'd give you a 3-minute promo. That's what used to win championships over there. Now that there's a new regime of actual promo artists who are competitive, they don't want to show up there. But kudos to Landfill for returning to the screens. And now on to the other gentleman that returned to the screens that I was very excited for. We had the actual creator, Chris Nichols, walk back on the screen, kind of hype up the place, say, how happy he was with what's going on. Even though there's people out there that would say, oh, Chris Nichols hates that you're the champion. Yeah. He hates that HHE's there. Yeah. And you know who you are, you little fat scrotum. But that's all you ever be. But you were wrong. If you were allowed in that group, but you're not, you would see how proud he was of what's going on in VOH, how the changes happened, and he liked it. And then, out of the cobwebs and the closets and all that good shit, here comes Chris Fowler. And listen, guys, I'm not a nostalgic type of guy, okay? So me and Chris Fowler were never boys. We were never friends. We were never pals. I respected him. I think he respected me. And he gave me a shout out saying that I was doing a great job. And here's the one that's going to kick you guys in the dick of being a heel. Oh, is that what bothers you guys? That you don't understand the difference between face and heel? That makes me say, what the fuck? Because what we do is based a lot off of professional wrestling. And as a heel in professional wrestling, which I am a heel manager in professional wrestling, I do not cohort with the fans. I don't go out there and go, oh, golly gee, guys. I don't do it. I don't walk out into the crowd and sign or sell merchandise or any of that shit. It's because I don't want to. Okay? As a heel, I need to sell myself as a bad guy. And in the promo realm, I do the same. Chris Ishler, decent human being. Old School is the biggest piece of shit asshole you're ever going to meet because he don't like anybody. He's not friends with anybody except for my brothers who are HHE only. But some people don't get that. Some people don't understand the difference between a heel and a face, okay? So I see Mama Purge is here. Good morning, Mama Purge in Germany. I hope all is well. Mama Purge, to me, is a face. So people love to see her bring Jigsaw on the screen or use her puppets. And her promos aren't hateful, okay? And they're good. And she wins championships. And she has, support from people, okay? So that makes her a face, okay? So then you put Mama Purge versus Old School. You damn well know Old School is going to be a piece of shit. But Mama Purge, Miss Yvonne, will tell you that Chris, behind the scenes, is a really nice fucking guy. I just play a damn good character on screen. But some people say that, oh, you shouldn't take it so far. You shouldn't be so mean. It takes the fun out of it. It's competitive, you fucking idiots. And I'm looking around the promo room and I'm seeing a lot of non-competitive shit. I'm seeing a lot of, okay, guys, well, Bob's been doing really good. He's been showing up. We got to get a title on him so he don't go somewhere else for promo. Even though he's really not that good, we're still going to make sure he wins, i.e. Dante Black losing to NDT. Sorry, folks. That's the truth, okay? I could tell you right now, I could go watch Dante's promos and tell you he probably murdered NDT. Okay? I could probably tell you that I could send a Mama Purge into said group, and she's going to lose off merit. And here's the reason she's going to lose off merit. Because she's in the competitive world, and she's rode with some of the greatest monsters in the business, beaten some of the greatest monsters in the business, competed with some of the greatest monsters in the business. And here's something that she's done that a lot of you have never learned in all the years I've known you. She's humble even in a loss. Okay, so same way Sheamus is here. Sheamus, same way. The man's won a couple of championships. He's humble in a loss too. Okay, they're here because they're having fun in the competitive brands. They just don't want to go to a kayfabe brand that will legitimately put a person who can't cut a really good promo over somebody who puts a really great promo together. Okay, so like I said, you could send Mama Purge, Sheamus. You could send, let's use the Sarge. Let's use a couple folks that I know are really good. But when they go to those places, They treat them like fucking jobbers because they want the Josh Penrods or the MDTs, the guys who can't cut a fucking promo, to do well so they don't go home and go in their bedroom and hang themselves. Oops, did I say that? Sorry, it's the truth. Listen, you come to PPF, I'm going to tell you straight up, it's competitive. Okay, you're probably on certain occasions going to get your feelings hurt. But I do have a regard of certain things that can't be said. I don't like people to say the GD word. I do not respect somebody who wants to call a woman a bitch. That's just, if you're doing that, well, I mean, if you're proud of yourself, good for you. I refuse to. I have 22 years. I've been with my wife, and in joking, she may get called a bitch, but then I get popped. But never in my life would I ever be seriously calling a woman a bitch, because I wouldn't want somebody to call my mom that. I wouldn't want somebody to call my wife that. I wouldn't somebody to call my daughter that. So that's where I get to what the fuck today, because I'm watching all over the promo realm, and people are so quick to say the fun is gone in competitive groups because nobody's enjoying themselves. I got Mama Purge here. She's having a blast. Her son, Justin, who plays the Purge, has had a blast at PPF. He's won a couple titles. He's enjoyed some success. But even more importantly, I let him live his dream of being a cool-ass editor, and does fucking excellent work. The cat puts together a show, and I get excited. He's got videos of me jamming behind the scenes with him when we used to do it live for some of the music he's picked. But to me, it's a what the fuck moment. You know what I mean? When I go through the promo world and I'm just scrolling on my Monday or Tuesday morning or whatever, and today being Thursday, which is really weird. I'm recording on Thursday, but it's raining out. There's nothing better to do. So I brewed a cup of coffee, and I wanted to address that, because you got to treat promo artists with respect. When their product is good and you shit on them by putting over a person who's not good, then their loyalty starts to fade away. They start to jockey to other places, which, hey, Dante, give me a holler anytime. You're welcome in PPF. I've had great matches with Dante. We had the match for the KOP when I came to the VOH. I respect the guy gratefully. Do I respect some of the company he used to keep? Fuck no. Elijah McFly, another big piece of shit. He's been in the news lately, evidently. I'm not going to get into all that. I will say this, though. He returns to VOH and puts a belt that he's held hostage for 2 years after he got his ass beat for it, and never shipped the belt back. That's dirty shit, man. You're a piece of garbage. Sorry. Don't like you. And if you ever fucking become a man and decide to send Brandon Seeger his property back, my opinion probably still won't change. You're still a piece of shit. But that to me is, listen, that's why at PPF, 90% of the time, Mama Purge is here. James Ellis is here. A couple folks have seen me do it. Mama Purge and Purge, they weren't getting championships shipped to Germany, and I made sure they had them. Okay. I made sure that they had championships over there, because they deserve to wear a belt on screen when they win one. So I don't brag about it. I don't boast about it. I don't say, oh my God, I'm the greatest guy because I sent them belts. I sent them belts so the story could be fed. If Justin or Yvonne win championships, they have a belt to show for it. They don't hear, well, I'm a shitty owner and I don't like to work. And, I don't have any money to ship a belt overseas. That's why that group died too and got sold to somebody else. And by the way, El Wapo, you're doing a great job. I see a lot of great things happening over there. Apex, EMP, anything to do Wapo's doing here lately is really, really good. I've noticed Elite's been picking up. It's looking a lot better. I see some greater things starting to happen over there. PPF, of course, VOH, of course. Some great groups out there that you could go find and enjoy and not have what the fuck moments. Okay. But oh yeah, and I know he does. Justin takes one of the championships. I sent him to a lot of the independent events. I've gotten pictures of him. Here's the thing. I don't do that for clout. I don't do that so people will say, "Well, old school, blah blah blah." No, that was me just being, I don't know, a guy who felt like I always wanted to hold my titles. So when I win a championship, it was always the excitement of getting the belt in the mail, and I wanted to give Justin the excitement and Mama the excitement of going, "Hey, we actually have belts that if we win a championship, and guess what? It worked out because Mama has won a couple titles in PPF. Justin's won a couple titles in PPF, and they've won titles elsewhere. And I've seen some of those belts show up elsewhere, and that's the purpose. So now they have the enjoyment of getting to hold the championship. Okay, and a physical title does make a difference, whether people like it or not. I don't really. I mean, I know some groups are in midst of building, championships and getting them. I get that. That's a different story. One thing that makes me want to puke is we'll use the PPF as an example. Your new PPF champion, the Rising Sun, and he walks out there with a WWE Network logo. What the fuck? Another what the fuck moment. And I understand some people got to use them until the real belts are done. And I know because I have confirmed with a lot of the people I've talked to, and I want to make sure they know this isn't directed at them, that they're in the midst of making belts, so people use the belts they have, and I get that. For me, though, I just couldn't do it. So in my office here, hanging right up behind me here, let me see if I get my finger under it. Boop, that belt right there. That belt is unlogoed. Okay, so if I'm anywhere else and I win their title or a title there, and they don't have physical championships, that belt right there walks on screen with me. Okay. But every group I've been in has been pretty damn good at having titles. And that's why I felt it was important that Justin and Yvonne, who is Mama Purge and Purge, deserve championships. Um, and listen, a lot of us are belt marks, okay? A lot of us love championship belts. A lot of us, that's why some of us got in the game because we thought it was a belt group. Oh, that's me. A buddy of mine, Steven, invites me to a belt group. And I'm like, all right, yeah, what the fuck? I'll go check out a belt group. I'm always buying belts. Beyond the Belts was born. And then I see people talking shit. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, I want to jump on there and talk shit, so I did. And that spawned old school. So I got to thank Stephen G, because if he wouldn't have ever showed BTB, there'd be no old school. I want to thank Tim Lee, who I know a lot of people aren't fans of, but without Tim Lee, folks, you wouldn't have old school either, because he's the one that gave me the confidence and said, hey, you'll be good at it. And he wasn't fucking wrong. Which, by the way, congratulations to him on being the IW World Champion. I know that means something to him. I'm not a huge IW fan. I don't go over there. I don't promo, but all to their own. But I also want to congratulate the PPF here lately. We're doing some really great work. Really great promo artists. No bitching, no complaining. We have a really great locker room. Nobody's fighting. Hell, even the one that everybody thought wasn't going to make it, Mr. Troy, has been doing very well. He has grown up a lot and figured out that this game is not only competitive, but it's fun. And that's where a lot of people were having a problem. They don't think it can be fun and competitive. They think it only can be fun if a story's written in you, stuff like that. I'm sorry. To me, kayfabe's not fun. Kayfabe's boring. You already know the results. There's no reason to put in the hard work. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. Competitive nature is me going out there surprising you with what I'm going to say and you being able to try to beat me. That's competitive. Whose product is better? Whose wordplay is better? Who does a better job of filming? That is some epic shit. Not, oh, well, we know Bob's winning the title. It's almost like watching a shitty WWE show. You already know who's winning. You already know who's going to be the champion for the next 6 months. It's in their fucking contract, So my what the fuck deal today, and the biggest deal today, was it blew me away to see Dante Black lose to NDT. Because I personally felt like I watched my dog take a shit the other day, and it was much better promo than NDT would have put out. It was a much better one. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. I just don't think the guy's that great. I think he's flat based. He stumbles over what he says. He has to think about it. Jesus Christ. If you're not ready to film, don't get on the camera. If you don't know what you're going to say, don't get on the fucking camera. Or try this one. And this is for a couple of you. Maybe put the beer down for about 6 hours, and then you'll be able to cut a promo. But we know some folks just can't get off that shit. Me, 22 years sober, and I'm going to stay that way. My wife is my life. My family is my everything, and PPF and the people that are in it that I have. And don't get me wrong, other groups too that I've met a lot of people in. They become my family too, and I love them and I respect them, and I hope nothing but success and happiness for them all. I tend to watch out for those, and I'll go around, and if they need something, I try to help if I can. Um, I'm in a better place in life for myself. God has blessed me with a wonderful, wonderful life. A horribly shitty neck, by the way. God, we got to talk about that. That's a what the fuck moment. But I was hoping that the surgery would have made everything better, but I found out recently it's not that much better. But I'm grateful for the good things. I'm grateful for the great things. Uh, some of the people I've met in this industry, even though people call it a hobby, I call it an industry because there's a lot of money moving. It may not be being paid to anybody, but we put a lot of money out for these belts. We put a lot of time in that's free, editing shows and stuff like that. Like I said, Justin, thank God for him. That kid can edit a show, and it's really good. And he puts a lot of his time and effort into it, and I appreciate him more than he will ever fucking know. Um, but I've had people donate belts, donate money. I don't bring their names up because that's nobody's business but the PPFs. And I'm grateful for those folks because, listen, this is a team effort. When we all get together, and I'm only using Mama and Seamus because they're here right now. I don't know who the third person is. If you get a comment, let me know. Um, but if those two are having a match, okay, they're going to give me the best they can. And why? Because they respect the PPF, and I love that. That makes me so happy. So when I have been honored to see these people on my screens promoting for my group that I created all those years ago, that just melts your heart. That just makes you happy. And listen, let me be very clear about what I say. I don't wish any ill will to anybody's promo group. I want everybody to succeed because if one group dies, then that affects the rest of the groups. Okay. So if one group dies, that means there's something bad going on there. And then some of that bad might drift over to other groups and affect it too. So I wish them all prosperity. I wish them all greatness. I hope they all succeed. And I hope the people that are there are having fun at what they're doing, and whether it's kayfabe, competitive, or storyline or whatever. That's not my problem. My problem is I am not going to do it. I don't feel it's a necessary thing to kayfabe or to lie to competitors and say, "Oh yeah, it was judged," and the judge was you just writing it down that you thought that Mama Purge lost to Sheamus or Sheamus lost to Mama Purge. Get the fuck out of here, man. Listen, I go back to a niche I used a long time ago over in that group that will not be because the heart stopped beating, the soul is gone. So let's talk about it. They hand an envelope. All right, guys. So this is gonna be my envelope. Oh God, the judges just handed me an envelope. Sorry, just checking for judges. I don't see any judges. And then I open it up and go, oh my God, Mama Purge beat Sheamus by 1 point. Fuck out of here. That's the biggest fucking horse shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. And it was done back then. It was done back then. Or we could go back to a match I had over there. I didn't have enough military vehicles. I was supposed to call, the Pentagon and ask them to deliver some missiles and tanks and maybe even the infantry. Maybe they could have come with guns and started racking them off while I was promoing. Fucking idiot. Yeah, the biggest bunch of douchebags I ever met in my fucking life. That group, I put that group right down there with APF. If you want to put shitty groups in a list, because we know some people like list, let's list a couple of top shitty groups, and you see what happens to the shitty groups. They're disappearing. They're dissipating. They're going away. And the reason is because everybody's called you bullshit. Sorry. Oops. Oh my God. He said it again. He's a piece of shit. Go ahead and say it all. Or do a stupid live that nobody gives a fuck about. Because I don't give a fuck about it. If I did, I would have responded to it. I would have been on the screens talking shit. I don't have to. We all know where you stand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Man, this morning that coffee's going down smooth. Huh. The cigarettes are smooth. The conversation's smooth. Got some wonderful people here with me right now. You know, it's just, to me, I want to see the promo realm succeed and continue on. I talked to a good friend of mine a while back ago, Jose Bazzaldi, and he, at one time, he thought the promo realm was dead. Like the heartbeat had stopped. We were flatlining. We were in trouble. And then he saw how PPF, VOH, places like that, we started changing it up, getting a little more raw, getting a little more competitive, and boom, we're back again. So I don't think it's ever really dead. I think it fluctuates to high points, low points, high points, low points. And you guys got to remember, the highest point we were ever going to have was during the pandemic, because nobody could go outside, nobody could go to work. And I'm sorry, guys, I never believed in the pandemic anyway. I thought the pandemic was bullshit. It was the fucking flu. I'm not a germaphobe. Okay, somebody sneezes next to me, I laugh about it. Some people run and get the fucking shit, wipe their hands off, or wear a mask and shit like that. Listen, here's a what the fuck moment before you don't even have nothing to do with the promo world. If you're wearing underwear and you fart, you still smell the fart. So if you're wearing a face cover, you're still going to breathe in the COVID if it was real. Okay, so throw the fucking mask away. Stop wearing them in your car because you look like a fucking retard. Just stop. And I don't want to hear about the coronavirus or whatever the fuck it's called. That's fake ass bullshit too. That is a way to try to get the government offset so they can pull votes and all that. I don't get into that horse shit. You know why? No politician gives two fucks about your opinion. You can sit out here and put reels out all day long telling the world what you think, and nobody gives a fuck. Okay? It's just the government don't care. We're just numbers. All right? We're not people. We're not humans. We're numbers. And that kind of works sometimes that way in the promo realm. Okay? So you have a roster of 50 and you're trying to book cards. If a lot of those people don't put their hand up and say, hey, man, I want in a match, or get on screen and say they want a match, they're probably not going to get booked. Okay, we did some cuts here a while back ago of some folks that I just didn't think were necessary to be here because their promo style was not the greatest, and their willingness to show up wasn't there either. When you no show, you get booted. But I cut a couple folks just because of that. The activity wasn't there. They weren't trying to put in the work. And for me, it's not work for me. For me, I love to get on camera. I love to film. I love to put a product out there that people go, oh my God, old school's at it again, or he's pissed off. I got a message from my great brother, Big Sweet, the other day, and I dropped this hype. He hit me up. He's like, School, let me hit you up, man. Can I be honest with you? I was like, what's up, bro? He said, you inspired me. I said, I inspired you. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm going to cut me a promo today. And that meant something to me. While other groups are trying to get him to actively go there and oh my God, you got to come over here. We'll put a belt on you. That was said, by the way. My guy is a competitive promo artist. He said, no thanks. That guy is loyal. I'm loyal to him. I'm loyal to anybody that's loyal to me. And that's not me saying, hey, if you don't promo for me, I don't like you. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if Justin would say, hey, man, I just started running LWA and I need a guest spot. And you can ask Mama, she's here. I've done it for him before. Can you do a guest spot for me? Can you do a quick, 45 seconds to a minute video, so I can certainly I fucking can. Certainly I fucking can. You want to know why? Because he's loyal to me. So I'm going to pay that back with respect to be loyal to him. It's just, to me, that's just the way it works. And that's why it's rubbed me wrong for so long. The VOH loyalists that used to be there, like, I bled VOH. I was VOH. I am VOH. No, you weren't. Because the minute one of those pukes who weren't getting their way went and started their own group, you ran over there and claimed to be a loyalist to them. That's horseshit. That is just not loyal, man. Chris Nichols, great guy. I love him to death. He's always been a great friend of mine. We talk belts every once in a while. We talk real life. We talk trucks. Good friend, good brother. They asked me to come to VOH a while back ago and face Dante for the title. I did. I won the title, and I've been champion we stopped counting. It's been a while. But here's the truth. The reason I haven't lost that title is nobody competitive has come at me. Nobody who can understand what I do and do better has come at me. I had a great match with the man, Chris, like Chuck Norris. Dale Litton, y'all may not understand that, but the Law gave me a great match. Dante, 2 times I had great matches with Dante. And then you stick the little fat turd in there who thought he was going to win, guaranteed he was going to win, thinking it was the old VOH, and lost. That was the only match that I just didn't enjoy or have fun or think it was worth my time, but I did it anyway for Brandon. I do that a lot. And most recently, me and Ed Lindsay, he plays a couple of different characters. We went back and forth. He gave me some fun. But I know his health situation. He's working when he can. I've always had fun with what I do with people. And a lot of people will tell you, you may not know it, but I'll reach out to you and say, hey, man, if there's anything you don't want me to mention or talk about, let me know. I will not mention people's children. I won't mention their families. I just don't think that's cool. Now, unfortunately, Mama and Justin, they're in kind of a weird situation because I don't like people to mention my family, but they can because Junior promos. So Mama's kind of the same way. Somebody mentions, the Purge. Shit, he's a promo artist, so he's kind of not off limits. But I think they need to watch what they say, how they say it. You know what I mean? You can't say, hey, Purge, your mom's a bitch. That's not cool. Or, mom raised a little bitch. That's not cool. But some groups will think that's a great pop, and I don't. Some of those groups still haven't learned yet. Sorry, guys. I don't want to waste that really good cup of coffee. I made a hell of a good cup of coffee there. But for me, it's just been fun for all these years. And I think the most fun I've had is meeting everybody I have. And I know. I love them all, and I've had fun with them all, and I just enjoy the promo realm. There's always going to be bad with the good. There's always going to be good groups, bad groups. There's always going to be groups that think they're great, and in the same respect, people that are watching don't think it's so great. So, my lesson for you all today is this. We can respect the promo world. We can respect everybody putting in the hard work in their groups. We don't have to like them. We don't have to like their groups. But we are allowed to have an opinion. So if this opinion today bothers you that I brought up the NDT Dante Black matchup, then you got a lot of learning to do. Because for me, it's one of those situations of I would not disrespect Dante like that. Not ever. I wouldn't disrespect Brett Jacobs. I wouldn't disrespect Chris Nichols when he's playing his character. I would not job them to somebody who is not worthy. I'm sorry, it's just not. So for me, it's just unreasonable to talk. Even do that. Always. I love having folks come to the house now that I'm fully moved into the new place and Got the new studio set up and all that good shit. Kind of getting my schedule sorted out here. I know this summer I'm going to try to get some of the guys together and have a cookout again. I really enjoy doing that. It's just a fun time. Sit down, break some bread, bullshit, talk promos. You know, and I don't care who or what in this world tries to stop me. By this summer, I'm going to have a good friend of mine named Mick Dunlap who plays Malice. He will be at, and we will enjoy a wonderful meal together. I can promise you that. So, for that, I'm going to get ready to get out of here, guys. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day of Coffee with Old School. I thank the ones that have joined me live. I will thank the ones that have watched me later. And I will also thank the haters that want to talk about it and get upset about it because all you do is give me a little bit of a push from a show. And guess what? Guess what I don't care about? Likes, watches, followers. This ain't Dr. Quack. I don't need it to make my dick feel big. My wife reminds me every day it is. So, every one of you have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Try to stay dry if you're around me. It's a little ugly, a little rainy. And if you're out there in the heat, try to stay cool. Much love to all my family. Much love to all my people. I will see you guys on the other side. We will do it again here real soon. Love, hug, honor your loved ones because tomorrow's never guaranteed. I hope you guys have a wonderful fucking day. And I'm out.